ended up right on top of Rostock. There's a high chance we might actually go there.
Now, at least everyone has a good start this time. No real early fights like what we saw earlier, like the one that 7-9 had with Brian. And at least this time, 7-9 has a full squad a little bit longer. Hopefully, they'll be able to bounce back with that sort of situation.
Speaking of bouncing back, now we talked about this yesterday. Usually Pachinko has been very vacant, but never mind that. Take that back for a bit. We do had our first shot coming up in contact between Boo of Voin. 7-9 lost their main fragger, the star player Yu Hai, taken out by the newly joined Voin Boo from previously more.
Oh man. Again, another tough start for 7-9. Just when I thought that, okay, they are okay. But this time, it's not a Brian going out first. It is Yu Hai, a main fragger out. Not the player that they want to lose at this early stage.
Hopefully it comes with a benefit of that. At least they got themselves some motivation. But sadly, it's always 7-9. Whoever's trying to scout out for 7-9 will actually face the death penalty. It's either Brian, in this case it's going to be UI. So it's just a case of, can 7-9 stick as 4 is actually a better solution, or will they still go for the scout will be dropping elsewhere? Yes, it's his job to find himself some information, but you gain nothing if he's being executed early.
Yeah, I know, right? How many points have they collected so far? 6 points in 2 games, so that's an average of 3 points. And if I were to be a little bit more exact, they got all 6 points from the previous round. And they play with 3 players, so to be fair, they could still score something. But if you're up there, then you'll be like, okay, fine, we can still go on with it. But if you're like down there with 6 points, then it's not really good news for 7-9. I don't know. Maybe Erangel. Just not feeling Erangel now.
It feels like they're still trying to find their footing, and there's not much time. With this new format, it's really, how do I say? It's really strict for the players. There's no slacking off at all. We're talking about day 1, first map you have to perform, because you only have 2 days of playing throughout. Like what? It's gonna be like 12 maps, I assume. 12 maps for each team. Then it's either you go to the last chance or you're going to go for Super Sunday Streak. That's it. There's going to be only 2 days. Previously, they have more chances. They have more time to build up the momentum and building up the chemistry, but not these 2 seasons that we had since the last season. So I think a lot of Indonesian teams realize how detrimental it is for them to actually start up late. So they all try to push up quite early. Now, the rest of the others, can they start to wake up here? Because if not, they're going to have a lot of pressure to face again when it comes to tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt it's a brutal format, so every game counts for every single team. Crit VIP, now we have them on screen. One of the other teams that have played 8 matches, but on PS2. Sometimes they can get a good start. Like they can win like their early fights if they clash with another team, but when it comes to like the middle stages, they seem to tend to struggle in the middle onwards. It's like when other teams start to get into position, like when they have a proper plan and they are well stocked up, that is where Crit VIP don't do well against those teams.
That's true. It is what it is. But for the side of Boom, they are hunting people down. They already looted up to level 2 gears. A couple of hand grenades is more than enough. While they are loot hopping from compound to the other, they might as well try to find some victims or a couple of points whenever they can. We see a lot of teams and players start to migrate themselves. If we compare with A versus C and B versus C, Claire, I feel like yesterday's the grouping a bit more aggressive. We haven't categorized ourselves every single season where we look at the group draw for week 1. We're going to mention about, this is going to be the death group, this is going to be the cool group, and this is going to be the immediate group or the medium group. In these terms, for this week's league group draw, personally, which group do you think is going to be the death group so far?
Yeah, I actually haven't put too much thought about that after the group draw came out. But now that you mentioned about it, I'll probably want to give it to. I'll probably want to give it to group. Well, maybe group. Man, this is kind of hard. I'll probably want to give it to group B.
I agree. I
Yeah.
had the same thought as well.
Okay.
I have the same thought as well. Because I feel like Group B more, they are more engaging in terms of fight. But if you compare with Group B, which performing here today, yesterday there's more fights when it comes to Group A versus C though.
I mean, of course, now if you ask me like now, then well, we might as well wait for Group B to end just to see the comparison, right? But this is like just looking at names and just coming up with okay, what they have done previously, like before. Then yeah, probably give it to Group B. But of course, what they showed yesterday was with Group A in the game. Then yeah, they have a lot more fights in them. And speaking about fights, if you guys doing the same thing as before, you're gonna which keep the team from Pygmy from getting across.
Now this is the mistake that we've seen multiple times across all many seasons. If you overextend yourself in the blue zone quite early in the start, and then when you try to leave the blue zone shrinks more. But Mika finally perform here, taking out one of the players of Pygmy, and they have to put their movement on hold for Pygmy. No advancement at all. They have to go for the longer rotation if they want to cut across, which they decided to part ways, and just hopefully it won't be too late for Pygmy to reroute themselves or get a better route to get into the circle.
Yeah, stage 2 should still be fine for Pygmy. And plus, if we look at Arthur, he has 5 first aids. His other teammates should have a couple of first aids as well. They should be okay. And last we saw the map, nobody's gatekeeping the right side bridge, so they should be able to get across. Now, the circle went all the way on the left side, and we've seen this kind of circle a couple of times in the past. And with this circle, normally Boom Esports does well, and they were in the middle of the circle. They can pick those hot compounds within those circles, and there are very few of them there. And I would expect Boom Esports to do well this round with this sort of situation.
They definitely want to do very well, and they want to gain as much elimination as possible. I think they're